And then you went on to Acos and TACoS. Aren't they actually outputs?
Well, they are outputs. That is, I mean, they're critical for a brand and agency. Agency is being asked to manage to an ACoS target, being asked to manage to a TACoS target. They are using the CLV as a way to inform their brands of this is what you should be thinking about in terms of your ACoS target and TACoS target, right? You're actually getting, if you can acquire these new customers, it's worth more than you're seeing in this one-time return. But those are, ACoS and TACoS are also outputs. So this comes in to play, like we focus a lot on explaining change and understanding, like getting to the bottom of your data as quickly as and efficiently as possible. So like for ACoS, right? What's the formula for ACoS?
Or how much you spend in advertising versus how much those advertised products generated through those ads.
Yep. So spend divided by sales. And I
Right.
would also say spend and sales are also output metrics. Okay. So they're not necessarily directly actionable. Right. So,
Yes.
and we could go through every one of these metrics and break it down further. But for ACoS, right? So the way that I look at that would be cost per acquisition divided by your average order value. Okay. It's the same formula, right? The same result ends up with ACoS. Okay.
Cost per acquisition divided by average order value.
Yep.
Really, it comes to the same thing.
Same thing. Yep. And I would say average order value, that is an input metric. Cost per acquisition is still an output metric.
Yeah, because it keeps fluctuating based on trends and everything else, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, cost per acquisition divided by average order value. That's first time I'm hearing this.
That is ACoS. Yep. But it also, I mean, it's, if you think about reading the data, a lot of it's about storytelling, right? So if, hey, your ACoS went up month over month, that's because your spend went up more than your sales went. Like that doesn't help me, right?
Yeah,
If you start
exactly.
to say it in terms of, well, our cost per acquisition went up more than our AOV went up. Okay, a little bit clearer, right? But the cost per acquisition being an output, the way that I think about that one is your cost per click divided by your conversion rate. Okay, cost per click divided by conversion rate, that's your cost per acquisition.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, yeah, so now if you look at, all right, ACoS went up, I see my CPCs went up, my conversion rate went up, my AOV went down. You've got essentially two bad guys and a good guy in there, right? Your conversion rate went up, but your CPCs went up and your AOV went down. So those three together resulted in what happened with your ACoS, right?
Yeah.
So now if you see like, okay, CPC looks to be the primary driver of my ACoS increase, then it's a matter of you figured out the story horizontally, and now you can dive into it vertically and say, what drove my CPCs up this month, right? Depending on how you've got your account structured, right? You can dive into campaigns down at the search term level. Hey, it was our brand terms, brand defense campaigns. We're getting conquesting more this month. You know, we're overbid and we see that our CPCs have gone up. As a result of this had this impact into our overall ACoS, right? So there's a whole web narrative that you can create to really get to the source of what's driving that output metric, that then you have a chance of correcting, or at least in a starting point, explaining, figuring out if it's normal volatility, and then take corrective action. So if you're an agency having the conversation with the brand, be able to clearly establish, like, no messing around, like there's no squishiness here. I'm not pontificating. I am just telling you, this is the metric that drove the poor performance month over month. Here is where it's located. This was part of a strategy for us to go acquire new customers this past month. This was the impact it had. Is this something that we want to continue moving forward, or do we want to course correct?